Greetings again. Locke here. Are you ready for part 2? I hope so, because this is by far one of the most important subjects we need to deal with and get over so we can use our minds to bend reality. And that's how to deal with failure. Because you will experience what you will perceive as failure, especially in the beginning. The first thing you have to decide right now is that you will not give up. You must refuse to accept defeat. Failing is a part of life and how we learn. But giving up closes off any chance of making a fail into a win, which is the real purpose of a failure. It is unspent energy begging to be reused. Unfortunately, most people use that energy to further beat themselves down. But that stops today. There's a cute little book you may want to pick up called Tufty the Priestess. Let's stroll through a movie. Now, we do not support joining anyone's new cult, unless you want to. What we do find Ms. Garcia entertaining. But the point, however, is not the personality, it's the work. And in this book, the author talks about a concept called the advantage. The concept is as simple and old as human history. You see, the advantage takes advantage of the maxim of the cosmos. That is, the seeds of fortune and or misfortune are in everything. Every event that happens in your life is, in the end, a neutral event. How you handle said event determines its good or ill in your world. There will be those who squawk at this idea, but we really don't care. Furthermore, this is not new information. One of the oldest symbols we have that illustrates this fact is the ancient Chinese Yin and Yang. This is a concept of dualism, polarity, and binary, all combined up in one image. Yin and Yang describes how, obviously, opposite or contrary forces may actually be complementary, interconnected, and interdependent in the natural world. So, as we just said, all events are neutral. And if that's the case, then it's up to you to decide how you transmute the event to your advantage. And in over 80% of all cases of so-called failure amounts to one not seeing the advantage in everything. Now in the book Tufty the Priestess, she mentions using a simple technique here. When you find yourself up against a situation that seems to go against the reality you are wanting to create, immediately say out loud or to yourself, advantage. This sounds like the most superficial, silliest nonsense, but it's actually pure genius. The technique is a classic pattern interrupt because it stops the descent into the usually negative habitual thought patterns you may have become accustomed to over the years. Also, you are training your subconscious mind to look away from the problem and look to the outcome of the solution instead. And of course, there are other techniques you can try. One of Jason's favorite visualizations is taking the problem or situation and putting it inside a black box the size of a coffin. The box is made from the same material that the monolith from movies 2001 and 2010 was made from. And once Jason shoves all problems into the box, he blows the box out the goddamn airlock. That's right. If you're going to do it, don't jack around with it. Go all in. But in any event, our point is no matter you deflate your doubts, deflate them you must. Doubts will most definitely arise no matter what reality-bending practice you take up. You have to negotiate the meantime. Doing nothing but your regular routine will seem counterproductive. You want to do something. You feel that you should be doing something. Isn't that what all the hustle motivation gurus tell you on the internet? But the only thing you'll end up doing is getting in your own way. You have chosen the way to mine, instead of choosing the way of working yourself into the ground like a donkey. Once that choice is made, if you go back on it, you just make it that much harder to start over again. The meantime can be mean and lonely, and many have turned back from that path right before they experienced their first breakthrough. This is why we chose to start with our HJ's method of it works first, because it's something you can do even in the middle of your doubts. Now, the other issue people will mistake for failure is just plain old impatience. And you know what? We totally get it. This is not the place where we smack you on the hand like a child trying to grab another cookie. Hell no. We want you to get what you want, and as soon as the multiverse can bring it to you. Because if you're content, and we're content and they're content, then the world can indeed be a better place. So we aren't here to put you down for wanting something and wanting it now. Jason is right there with you, but here's the thing. Our subconscious and unconscious minds are wiser and more experienced than you, me, and every human being now alive. Let that sink in for a moment. Every single problem, question, and desire can be addressed, answered, and satisfied by your subconscious and unconscious minds. So in the area of reality bending, wouldn't that dynamic duo be your all-time every-time go-to solution? Of course it would, if you knew it would work. And that's the place we want you to get to in your thinking. But you have to trust these more expanded parts of yourself to deliver the goods on time. And they will. So you're not testing your patience like a virtue. And you're not waiting for anything. Your expanded self already knows the most perfect solution and the best time for it. So instead of looking at the situation as waiting on, you're chilling with your more expanded self instead. Because you are the one in connection with your more expansive self. You are giving it its mission and letting it run loose. It's you who has the advantage. Always remember that. So let's take stock of where we are. 1. There is no failure, only a better advantage. 2. Your expanded self really is the most intelligent person on earth. So rely on it. 3. Use the meantime to deepen your connection with your expanded self. Notice this is all about your inner game. Using the system from it works is as simple as can be. It's the inner world that has to be managed while you're making the transition. And to help you do that, Jason has a gift for you. You see, our producer has been quite busy behind the scenes with the Awake One website. This means that among other things, he's been in the home studio working on new hypnosis and guided meditation downloads. And we managed to get one done for our friends here on the tube. Because it's one thing to say that you are connecting with your more expanded self, but it is another thing to actually do it. And we want to see you succeed. To get this download, all you have to do is click on the link in the description. We're not asking for email addresses, and we are not collecting anyone's information. All we want is for you to use this information. Then, once enough people begin to see for themselves, we'll have what we want. And can you guess what that is? Anyway, in the meantime and in the between time, take damn good care of you. Lock. Out.